hits and you take no prisoners. 1 minute you're up $500,000 in soybeans, and the next, boom, your kids don't go to college and they've repossessed your Bentley. Are you with me?
The revolution starts now.
We have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Turn those machines back on!
And we have to start by building a wall, a big, beautiful, powerful wall.
Show me the money!
You are fake news.
Oh, good for you. And how was it?
I don't know when they decided that they wanted to make a virtue out of selfishness.
If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on Earth.
Well, that's what you called this morning. Here on The Revolution, live at Lake Effect Radio. Streaming live at livestream.com/Lake Effect. It's just too bad I can't even hear myself in that. Stupid headphones. Yeah. So, how's it been going, Nathan?
Pretty good. Yeah.
Circadia in the house?
Circadia, yes. Yeah, my electronic project. So, that I'll be actually trying to really take off with, because it's a lot more listener friendly than my other one. So
I feel you. I know you sort of hinted off on the project and that. This is the first time for it.
Yeah,
here.
the first interview about it, yeah. So I'm quite excited. September 14th is when the record comes out. So
September 14th.
I'm excited.
Not including like how you were sort of hinting off over the summer and that, try to get it on, you know.
Exactly, yeah.
All different college stations, national stations, single, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's a new goal. I'm trying to release the single to as many radio stations as I can, because again, it's more listener friendly. It's poppy, but it's unique. That's the difference, because like there's so much pop music that all sounds the same.
Like Taylor Swift?
And many others. But yeah, so like...
You just want to say one thing to him, right?
Denied.
Okay, I guess that works. Yeah. But yeah, this is a unique spin on electronic pop music. So I suppose if I had to put 3 genres to define Circadia, it's electronic, pop, rock. Because there is rock in there, too. There's live drums, there's heavy guitars, and a couple of parts. But it's mainly synthesizer. So.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So, but that's many people, you know. They sort of blend the genres together to grab everyone's
it still has
interest.
A little bit of the Nathan James and the Scarlet Thread sound. A little. But
just a little dash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it is drastically different, though. So, and what's interesting about it is, like, I simply had a list of songs that I still thought were good, but I didn't think fit the hard rock style of my stuff, but I didn't want to throw them out. So I was like, I guess I'll do a side project with them, because I don't want to throw these away. I think they're decent. So
see, you found your calling for it.
Yeah. So the album is called Seeking Completion. So I'm excited.
Then you have some upcoming or plans to do shows now when the album gets released out there in September?
Maybe. If my plan for releasing the single on national radio comes out, because playing local shows where you have to work your butt off trying to sell tickets, that is not gonna fly. So if it's the kind of thing where I can actually get paid an upfront fee to perform, then yes. Like, hey, we'll give you $200 to open for this band. Done. But if it's the kind of thing where, like, sell 50 tickets and then you'll make money, no. It's just not, it's too hard, man. It's so stressful. Local bands don't even get enough appreciation or recognition for that kind of thing. It's not worth it.
Especially you sort of doing your own single sort of project.
Exactly. And this
all
is
the pressure's out
on me
you.
alone, exactly. Not to mention, you know, I do play every instrument on the record. Every single one. So, except for the trumpets in one song, because I don't know how to play brass. But
you conned somebody that you knew into it.
No, they were programmed.
Oh.
Yeah. I cheated. But it's
it
in one
happens.
song. So, I mean,
Every once in a while, you gotta cheat just a little, you know?
like in the Nathan James and the Scarlet Thread stuff, I didn't play the violin and cello in one song. Those were programmed. So but everything else was me. So,
Didn't realize that.
yeah. So I can't play brass or woodwind or violin or cello or things like that. But guitar, drums, bass, piano, banjo, vocals, that's all me. So
I gotcha.
yeah.
So what's the meaning behind the name?
Well, I don't know if you've ever heard the term circadian.
Yeah.
Well, circadian rhythm is the most common term used for that, which essentially means like a 360 rhythmic pattern that's repetitive, I guess.
Yeah.
A circadian is a 24-hour life cycle, is essentially what it means. Circadia is a place of life cycles. You know, because like you hear utopia, that's a place.
Yeah.
So it's almost considered a peaceful, magical place, if you will. So a Circadia, I consider is like a encouraging, blessing place of life cycles is essentially the idea. So it's not necessarily a biblical name, if you will. You can take it in multiple ways, I suppose, which is kind of the point and why I did it. Because I would like to be able to release the music on secular radio and Christian radio. Air One, The Fish. What other secular radio stations are there? There's, like 97.7, I think is one of them, or something like that.
I want to say...
I don't remember, yeah.
It's somewhere down that dial.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, like, because it's positive, uplifting music, and people can relate to it in whatever way they do. But of course, if they actually pull me aside and ask me how and why I wrote the song, I'm going to tell them the truth. You know, I wrote it because God spoke to me in this way about it. So, yeah. Seeking completion is a very broad title that can be taken in countless different ways, which is kind of the point.
I gotcha.
Yeah. But, yeah, I'm quite excited. So I've been working on it for almost a year. No. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hitting the ground running here.
Yes,
very shortly.
September 14th. I can't wait. Yeah.
Well, with that, you want to go to one of the snippets?
Snippets, yeah. I have snippets on my Facebook page. Just like little idea. Let's do the one that says record in the works. That was the very first one. This, I'll explain it after. All right. Circadia record in the works. It's going well. I'm stoked. Little snippet. There you have it. Stay tuned. Yeah, that was the very first snippet I did, and the very first song I finished on the record back in July of last year. So,
using the good old little sneak peek stuff. Started building the hype in that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm really happy with it. That particular song is called, what, is my mic cutting out a little bit? I heard some clipping in the headphones. Anyway, that particular song is called To Speak or Not to Speak. It's from the perspective of someone who has really crippling anxiety and depression. And it's it's talking about the type of scenario where they let their anxiety and depression get the best of them, and they're thinking to themselves, what the heck should I say? It's not easy trying to forgive yourself because I hurt this person so bad. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And the rest of the chorus is, I don't want to speak, but to feel so empty, wishing I was someone else, will never pave the way to heal. So, yeah.
It sort of really relates to many different people.
Exactly. So,
that.
Yeah.
Especially when you break it down in that meaning and that.
Right, because I do have pretty bad anxiety and depression and have been learning how to overcome it. And not of my own power, of course, but of Christ. You know, he's my rock. So
definitely, even those little lessons or things.
Yeah. So
I gotcha.
Yeah. So that was the very first one. I'm quite excited. That is not gonna be the single, but yeah.
You're not going to tell me really
what the single is?
Yeah.
No, I'll flat out say it. It's called Deepest Longing. I don't know if I made a snippet for it or not. I may have.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
I think there are a total of 4 snippets. There's only 3 on here, but one of them I did on my personal page by mistake. But oh well.
It happens.
Yeah.
Trust me, I fault that every once in a while. Go and post something from the station page and do it off mine.
Yeah.
Then it's like, well, why isn't it on there?
Yeah. It is what it is. Yeah, the most recent one was the personal page, but oh well. Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
You know, I got you in that. So with that. So what different artists really inspires this work?
Ooh, good one. Predominantly, more than anything, I would say Owl City is a big one. In my own humble opinion, he is the king of electronica and knows his stuff as far as synthesizer and things like that. You know, Fireflies was his huge successful single that made him as big as he is. He's probably the biggest electronic artist today, I would say. So he is a big influence. Other ones would be like Lights, Tillian. I don't know if you know who Tillian is.
No, Tillian, that's a new one.
Tillian Pearson is the vocalist for Dance Gavin Dance.
Okay.
But he has... It's cutting out again. Can you hear me still?
Yeah, I hear you.
The headphones.
Must be the headphones.
It's just the headphones. Okay.
Or the extension.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, Tillian's the vocalist for Dance Gavin Dance, but his side project is like electronic. So he's an influence there. Trying to think of another one.
Here, I can help you.
Yeah, there's multiple, because there is still some rock in there, still that little bit of a Nathan James sound. But yeah, the big ones are probably Tillian, Lights, and Owl City. So
predominantly.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Very true. So, One thing I never asked you before,
In any of the 8 interviews?
probably, what really drew you to music
Overall.
overall?
Oh, okay. I grew up with it in my family. All of us in some way or another are passionate about it. I became the most passionate out of any of my family members. Which in the past could be taken as a bad thing, you know, because at one point I essentially made it my idol and, you know, didn't actually show that I loved my family or my closest friends or anybody more than music, and that was a dark phase that I went through, but I overcame that.
Well, all of us have our phases, and not
Yeah.
necessarily so.
But yeah, like it, you know, and I think you may even have witnessed the period of time where all I cared about was I want to make it a career. I want to make it a career. I want to tour. Now it's just priorities change. So I'm releasing this for fun and because I'm passionate about it, but if it doesn't become a national thing or a source of nice secondary income, I don't really care. If it does, awesome. If it doesn't, okay. But yeah, what drew me to music is having a background of it, for one. Growing up in church, in a Christian home. So predominantly worship music, church music, hymns was what I grew up with.
Yeah.
But I think the first introduction to like heavier rock was for me was probably a band called Petra. I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
That one.
They're an 80s Christian hard rock band. Similar sound to like Styx, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, that kind of thing. The outfield, that sort of sound. So that was my first introduction to rock, I guess. And then hard rock, actually, I didn't really get into until I started getting into Skillet. So.
Yeah, Skillet.
Yeah, and I wasn't even introduced to electronica until years later. I was like 19. So.
But that's sort of where, in a way, electronica sort of came more prominent.
Exactly, yeah. Because that was when Fireflies came out. That was like the first, at least according, as far as I know, that was the first nationally known electronic single. So.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure it came out in 2009, I think. 2008, something like that.
I want to say, or maybe 10.
Maybe.
At the highest.
Yeah.
I want to say that.
But yeah, like so music was always a part of my life, but it didn't become really, really, really prominent until I first started playing instruments when I was 11. My first instrument was drums. So, yeah. And then I think when I was 10 was when I avidly started going to concerts as well. So, which my first ever concert was Petra, Stryper, and White Cross. So, those are all Christian 80s bands.
So. It's nice that you remember it like that.
Oh, yeah.
On a snap.
Because it was one of the highlights of my life. That's why. Yeah. No, I mean, like, I've been to, like, vocal group concerts when I was a kid. Like, For Him and the Gaithers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I don't, in my own humble opinion, I don't necessarily consider that a concert. Because to me, a concert is like you have a full band playing with you. So, for me, that was Petra. So.
Then I'm going to sort of go.
All right. You have like this diabolical facial expression when you have a good question or something.
Well, the other thing is, because compared to past, you know what I did New Year's Day? I sat here and went through all this. And went and created a complete new form.
Oh, nice.
does this make me a horrible person?
Oh, of course not.
They go and make a whole bunch of new, all kinds of stuff in that. Like, good to go and say favorite 90s jam.
Yeah. So is that the question then?
I could be funny and do that.
Okay. As in song or band?
Want to do both or one?
Both, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Favorite 90s song? Good grief.
I know this is really going back for you.
There's a lot of good ones, too.
I know.
They're honestly both from the same band, because I have such mad respect for these guys. Band, it's the Foo Fighters. Song, it would have to be The Best of You by the Foo Fighters.
True.
Yeah. So, actually, that album came out in the year 2000, so that doesn't count. It would have to be My Hero, because that came out in 96. So, yeah, but it's still the Foo Fighters. So, yeah.
There you go.
Another one would be Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden. Yeah. Chris Cornell, I love that guy. I'm so sad he's gone. Yeah.
I know, it's so many.
Mm-hmm.
So many.
Yeah, him and Chester Bennington were best friends. That's another amazing artist that's gone, Prince, and he was only like 50 or something. Chester was like 33, 34. No, closer to 40, I think.
I want to say...
Chris Cornell was in his 40s, I think. Still, that's so young, Good grief.
Well, that's like Petty.
Petty...
Tom Petty?
Right. Tom Petty. He was 60s, 70s?
I thought like 60-something.
Yeah.
And now it's like, well, he came around this area. It's like, oh, I'll see next time. It's like...
Nope.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's really sad, yeah.
But then it's... Especially the one tribute band that's around here that comes around.
The Tom Petty tribute? Yeah.
Yeah. They're pretty... But it's not
It's
still
not
the
the
same.
same. It's not the same, yeah. It's not the original, yeah.
So...
Yeah.
Let me see my other different odds and things that I know I have sort of that. How do you deal with anxiety? I wish I seen this a little before. Like performing.
It's performing anxiety?
Yeah.
Okay. When I first started out, I guess it took a while to get used to being on stage in front of people. So there was a little bit of shy guy, but just became a natural growth of getting used to. But as far as coping with it, I personally am a firm believer in God. So prayer is a big factor in that for me. Asking for strength and wisdom and, that kind of thing. But I guess in other ways that relate to other people, vocal exercises before you go on stage, it helps kind of ease you a little bit.
Brings the tension. I got you.
Yeah, so that way you're not shaking when you're trying to sing, and it's just, it also, I'm doing a little tiny bit of workouts and stretches before you go on stage too. Like that's easily like 10 minutes before you go on stage. That could even be push-ups or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Loosen yourself up a little. Drinking plenty of water.
That's the true thing.
Yeah. That's as far as performance anxiety. Anxiety overall is, of course, scripture is a big factor for me personally. But other than that, you've got occupying yourself, keeping your mind away from what your worries are, whether that's concentrating on, for me, it'd be like doing a puzzle or coloring or painting or reading a book.
Something that's not completely music related.
Not always. Sometimes it's popping in a CD that I can really relate to.
Or that,
Yeah. Such as listening to The Best of You. Like, that's a song that really connects with me a lot. So.
I gotcha.
One of many, of course.
So what is your favorite part in this? Let me think of that. Rephrase that for a second there. So what is your favorite part of this line of work?
Particularly Circadia and Electronica?
Yeah.
The vast selection of unique electric sounds that you find in a synthesizer. There's millions. It blows my mind. And like that, I feel like that's a genre that could be never ending with the amount of sounds you can create, the amount of pulses or like tremolos and things like that. So, I mean, To Speak or Not to Speak has more live drums and guitar work and real bass. There's some other songs that are predominantly more synthesizer that you'll hear. But yeah, I love even just going through the list in Logic Pro X and just seeing what's available, or using a MIDI machine and looking and seeing all these bizarre as heck creations that people have come up with as far as sounds, but you hear it and you put it in your own song, you're like, that works so well with this particularly. It makes it pop as a unique creation. So I love doing that.
Yeah. I could see that, be able to twine, all that.
Mm-hmm.
That's even me. I sort of play, new sound or different sound effects off different databases and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
Even here and there, going back to like how you were saying like earlier, Nat, when you guys submit your stuff, whether liners and that, here and there go and try those vocal spot or the instrumental spots here and there, all your songs, cutting out a small section, throw between your stuff, and here and there, maybe take sort of a small chunk and that, try to nail it off of when you guys are speaking that.
Yeah, or even the kind of thing like you make an oops that actually fits the song well. Like whether it's you have a certain part of a song where you have feedback from your guitar, but it fits and it's cool, or like you have an accidental pause and you're like, that actually works. Yeah, that kind of thing. It's an accidental. There's a term that studio people use. It's like an accidental.
Oh,
I don't remember what it's called. Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
God. And I just said that like Wednesday or something.
Yeah.
I blame on Monday morning. It's too early to think that.
It may come to us later, yeah. But
it happens in that.
Yeah.
Did I ever ask you before, what was your favorite performance venue?
Maybe. Are we talking about overall where I've seen a concert, or that I've personally played in?
You can take it in both perspectives.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay. As far as a concert I've seen, it would have to be the Bluestone in Columbus, because it used to be an old Catholic church that they turned into a concert venue, and it is the coolest old school looking building I've seen. It's that's where I think that's the first time I saw Lights. I don't know if you know who that is. She's an electronic pop musician from Canada. She's married to Bo Boken from Bless the Fall.
No, that one rings a bell.
Yeah. But anyway, that was the first time I ever saw her. And it's just the coolest because they still have all of the really old school looking Roman time looking pillars and designs from marble and things like that, but they turned it into this modern day concert venue, and it's fascinating. And it kind of just brings out, makes the artist pop because it's such a cool, unique concept of a venue.
I'm surprised I never ran across that when I was down in Columbus.
Yeah, like, and they have big artists that play there. I mean, recently Taking Back Sunday played there.
Damn.
Yeah, so I mean, like, it's a common venue. It's just, I guess...
I need to look that
It's
up.
not the most popular, though. Like, I mean, Scully's is probably one of the most popular venues down there. And then as far as really big venues, you've got the Newport, the Newport Arena. Or Newport, it's just the Newport. It's not an arena. But I think it seats like 3,000 or something like that. Yeah.
I gotcha.
That's as far as an artist I've seen perform. As far as one I've played in, I would honestly have to say Music Links in Men Are on the Lake. They really work hard at trying to take care, not just of the national band, but of the local bands too. And that's very rare, but appreciated.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah.
I've never been there yet.
Mm-hmm.
But you hear near, what was it, Mushroom Head?
Yeah, they play there a lot, yeah.
That was what, sometime early May last year.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like 11 different groups and that. It's
yeah.
Holy...
They had 2 different stages, and it was the concept of like Warped Tour, you know. A band on the side stage would play while a band on the main stage would set up, that type of thing. It worked out well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one place I need to get down there too, and
yeah. And they don't just have concerts there either. They have midget wrestling pretty often. They have women's mud wrestling there. They have like comedy shows. They have specials with their food and stuff like that, like potlucks and whatnot, or like a picnic or whatever. So it's not just a concert venue, but it's like an entertainment venue overall of different kinds. It's pretty cool. It's not
that's smart.
Yeah. And
you're not known for one thing. It sort of keeps the variety.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah.
So, which famous musician have you learned the most from listening to their own work?
Oh, goodness. I would have to say my personal musician hero, John Cooper from Skillet. He, in my own humble opinion, he has to be one of the smartest entertainment industry businessmen I have ever seen. He really, really knows what he's doing. And he hasn't always, of course. That's a learning process. But recently, especially, Skillet is probably now one of the most successfully renowned hard rock bands there is. But actually, it's a toss-up between him and Brett Smith from Shinedown. Because they're both...
I could see that.
Now, they're both really close friends and support each other very well, but at the same time, like, they're both very smart businessmen in the entertainment industry. They're very, very real and down to earth, even though, you know, Shinedown is not a Christian band and Skillet is. 2 different perspectives, but at the same time, their music is very real, very in your face. The lyrics, the instrumentation, their and I've learned a lot from their interviews, from their YouTube podcasts, their songs. Because, you know, other musicians pay close attention, most commonly to their own instrument, that what a other artist does, whether it's shredding on a guitar or what a bass player does or what a drummer does, little fills, little tweaks, and it's pretty awesome. I've learned the most from both of them.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, I got some stuff that people haven't seen yet.
Yeah. And in the 8 interviews I've had here, yeah, some of them I haven't been asked, so that's cool.
This is what I do. I keep it fresh.
Yeah, like Subway.
Oh,
yeah.
God, I set myself up for that pun.
For a cheesy joke, yep.
Yeah. Here, you deserve that. Yeah, you got me.
Yeah.
Not many people got me, but yeah, you got me.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Touche.
Yeah.
But what advice would you give for, let's say, up and coming, especially since, you know, you've been in a local scene, developed in that, with side projects, with a band and all that. One, let's say, high schooler building a band coming into the scene.
The biggest thing that I can say is, for how much the entertainment industry is evolving nowadays, just factoring the internet, Spotify, now they have streaming services instead of just buying music online anymore.
Yeah.
It's very, very hard to make good money in music anymore, or in entertainment in general. You know, it used to be the kind of thing where an artist could make bank off of playing shows, off of selling CDs, or going way old school, off of selling cassette tapes and records, off of selling merchandise, t-shirts, hoodies, that kind of thing. That's why artists charge $40 for a hoodie. Yes, that's expensive, but you're supporting the artist directly, because legally, record labels cannot touch merchandise sales. They can buy a certain amount of CDs or records off of the artist and do whatever they want with it, but they can't touch the band's personal merchandise sales, which I love. But anyway, so much has changed in the scene, so the best thing I could say is have a willingness to learn and grow. Don't be stubborn, don't be prideful, don't be stuck up and think you're the greatest thing in the world, because there will always be someone better that you can learn from. So don't take what the person, for lack of a better way to say it, that's better than you is telling you. Don't take that as a stab or as like you're not good enough. Take it constructively and learn from it. Use it as a tool, you know, to advance yourself. Learn as much as you can about the industry. Learn as many instruments as you can so you're well versed. Because for all you know, it may not be your calling per se to be the front man of your own project. For all you know, you could, let's say, learn how to play bass guitar fluently and extremely well, and a famous band would call you and be like, we want you to be our bass player. And that would be your living as a career. For all you know, that could be the case. Yes, It's unfortunate that you don't get to perform your own unique music as a career, but at the same time, or at the very least do that for a period of time and learn and grow in the experience of being with that touring band, and you're making good money, you know? So
I get you.
That kind of thing. Don't be afraid to experiment in a circumference of various ways of the entertainment industry to learn and grow. That's essentially my overall point. Because I've done plenty of fill-in work for various things, mainly in churches, filling in as the person that leads people in songs. I've led very, very traditional churches in just hymns and an organ, that kind of thing. But I've also led very, very modern day churches. as just a singer and had some of the most professionally grounded musicians I've ever met play behind me, that kind of thing. So it's wide variety. But in addition to that, I've done fill-in work for local touring bands. I've done fill-in work for... I've filled in for Hope for the Hollow at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame before, which is...
That's right.
Yeah, which is a awe-striking experience for me. Yeah, they're not a huge band, but it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Not only playing a show. It's not like everyone in the world can walk in there and grab a guitar, get on the stage.
Exactly. So, like, that's an experience in itself. You don't want to miss opportunities like that because you're thinking, no, I simply want to be in my own world, in my own music alone. No, that's not the way to think. Be versatile. So.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Want to go to another snippet?
Sure, yeah. We can do the one that says another snippet of the record. Kind of going in order.
Why not?
Here we are. Snippet. There you have it. Stay tuned.
Except it would help if I turn my mic on.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little. So with this current project, down the road, are you thinking an EP maybe down the road after the release of the single?
Any what?
EP coming
EP.
up after, the single dropping in like September and that.
Well, the entire record comes out in September. The single, the single will most likely come out in like June, something like that. The first single, I should say. Maybe. So far, the only thing I've put together and processed as Circadia is the full-length record, which there are 2 or 3 brand new songs that I wrote last year that are on here, such as To Speak or Not to Speak, but most of them are really old that I just didn't want to throw out, from like 2010, 2008. Someone Tell Me No is one of them. Spelled K-N-O-W. Someone Tell Me No. Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah, it's... yeah, I mean, there might be an EP possibly next year. I'm not sure.
Or just sort of seeing how it goes and that.
Yeah, see if people really soak it in. If it becomes more successful than my hard rock stuff has, I don't know. I don't know what the future holds with that. And I'm not banking on it being successful. I'm putting it out there because I love to do it and I've got a message, But so we'll see how the first record does. Yeah.
I just can't believe I messed that up, the order.
Oh, no,
brain fart.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I mean, that would be...
Stupid Monday.
No, that'd be a long period of time to wait for a single. So, like 4 months or 3, something like that. But, yeah.
I gotcha.
But, yeah. The snippet we just heard, yeah, Someone Tell Me No, that's simply about when you have something to say, know what you're talking about. Don't pretend to know what you're talking about. Because it says, I've been thinking that someone needs to tell me no of how I'm going to figure this one out. There is something worth living for I need to show, instead of living life or living like I'm what the world is about. But it's also, of course, from a biblical standpoint, talking about just living life from my personal perspective with the love of Christ, overall with love. Don't be that bitter sourpuss that everybody can't stand. That kind of thing.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Live with hope. Yeah.
That's something nowadays sort of need, especially the meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you think so, people assume they know what's going on in that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really know in that. Mm-hmm. Then you tell whoever, just causes chaos in that.
Right. But yeah, it's and then of course from my personal perspective, I couldn't learn and grow the way I have, or will learn and grow, without Christ as my center. That's my reason for writing the song. But I'm sure many people will take it in what relates to them the most. So
it has many different meanings. They'll really grab around the message of it.
Yeah.
From off of that.
Yeah.
It's so many branches off that are actually so real right now. It's not even hilarious. So
yeah, and to me, that's an old song. That was written over 9 years ago.
Whoever thought it would be that meaningful right this second?
Right. Which is another reason why I'm excited that I'm coming out with this year. That was God's timing as to when it would be appropriate to come out with a message like this. So, yeah.
Is that irony for you?
Yeah.
Now I'll get you on that one.
Yeah.
That's a bad thing. Now having 4 monitors and this big giant thing. Bad thing is you have to go in a U shape. I keep forgetting that every once in a while.
Yeah.
And that. Oh well. It happens in that. So with now doing everything with the synthesizer and all that, how long does it take to sort of develop a song now?
Well, I guess because to me a lot of the songs, mainly the lyrics and the melody, like the bare bones of the song, are what's old. Or just written years ago. That doesn't mean they don't relate or speak to me. Otherwise, I wouldn't release them. But I write all of my instrumentation in the studio, which is why it takes me so long. So, I'm working almost a year at this point on Circadia, and it's a 12-song album. Because I write each individual instrumentation part as I'm going. Of course, being in a professional studio, you have to sign a contract with the record label and with the studio itself that basically says you are coming prepared. You can't, unless you want to spend a crazy fortune, you have to be prepared. Whereas the particular studio that I go to, I've been best friends with the guy for many years, and him and I work really well together. And for me, it's very cheap, inexpensive. So I can write my instrumentation in the studio. But if I was going to a professional studio, I would have to know every minute detail of the song.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So what what was the question? I'm sorry. I don't remember if I answered it or not.
Shoot, what? God.
It's Monday.
Yeah. Darn it, Monday. Or how long does it take
Oh,
to
so
develop?
it depends. Like on for me personally, usually about a year.
I can't believe I blanked on that.
To finish an entire album, I should say, about a year. To complete an entire song, it depends. It varies to what all I want to put in it, to how many layers are in the song.
Yeah.
To Speak or Not to Speak was the first one I did off this record, and that didn't take very long. That took 5 hours, something like that, for like a 3-minute and 20-second song or something like that.
Not bad.
Yeah,
Not
but
bad.
then there are some songs that took an entire 8-9 hour session to do, so it varies.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha. So, is it any certain main, like, impulse of any, like, certain song that came to you that, impulse that sort of developed the song?
Yeah, essentially like an influence from another artist's song that started the... Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, boy. Yeah, I mean, all of them kind of have at least an influence from another artist that sparked an idea to add to a song, such as Someone Tell Me No. Like, I don't know if you can tell the influence of Owl City in that song.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it is my own unique thing. It does not sound like him, but there's influence of him, and it's evident, at least I think. So,
even though I'm not huge, you could sort of, but that might be me because I'm not huge
in that particular
the
genre.
Yeah, Owl City follower and that.
Yeah. But yeah, like it varies and depends on the song. I do feel like it's still my own unique spin, and in that song there is some hard rock to it. It wasn't in the snippet, but you'll hear it.
You just gotta stay tuned for the longer episode of that.
The full song. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just felt like going and doing like a TV commercial.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why. It
Oh,
just seemed like, something to go off of and that.
Yeah.
But just with sort of like how you go to a studio, does the producer, sort of throw in like sort of feedback of,
Yeah.
in recording of it?
Yeah, that's one reason him and I work so well. We've been working together, I don't remember how many years, quite a while. But we feed off each other very well. His ideas fit with what I'm trying to do with a song. I can be really bad at trying to explain what I want in a song, but he's good at figuring it out. Or if he doesn't precisely figure it out, he'll try his own spin on what I'm trying to explain, and I usually really like it. And it's something I wouldn't have came up with on my own. So that's what works really well with him and I. So,
Mind reading powers.
sort of. Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
That's the best way to sort of put it in a way.
Right.
too.
That's why I like working with him, and I go back to him time and time again. It's not just because it's inexpensive, but it's because he gets me as an artist. It doesn't matter what project I'm doing. So.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Want to go to the last snippet?
Sure.
Horsing around.
I'm getting there. What's up, everyone? I have not vanished. I haven't been on in a while, but wanted to show you another snippet of how the progress is going. And there's Dan. What's up? And there you have it. Is getting closer and closer to completion. I am so excited. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned.
Very nice. That does have a very good vibe on it.
Yeah. I haven't done vocals for it yet, as we just talked about, but that song is called "Awaken the Sleeping Worlds." It's pretty much just a message of like of course from my perspective and the reason I wrote it, you know, wake up. Don't listen to what the world or society has to say.
Be you.
Yes, but again, from my perspective, speak the gospel, God's word. But at the same time, you know, at the chorus, I think, says, "Awaken the sleeping worlds with cadence so beautiful, a melody that derives from inside. Just listen to what you hear." What you hear? Your voice will be loud and clear. Or no, just listen to what you hear. Wow, brain farted my own lyrics. The end of the chorus is your voice is your chance to live it out. So, yeah, and that song has 3 different time signatures in it. 5/4, 4/4, and 3/4. It's, yeah, that's one thing that I think makes it unique. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's not many. I can't think of anyone in the local scene that sort of has different time signatures in their stuff.
Unless, of course, it's like a math metal band or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
yeah, that would definitely make it unique.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never thought of that. It's like,
yeah.
I'm trying to think off top. I can't think of anyone that even came in here that had at least 2 different time signature changes.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's, yeah. And that's an old one, so, to me, lyrically and melody-wise, so.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, time flew by fast, but we always have fun, so.
Oh, yeah, most definitely in that. I'm putting, if people want to check out here and there, the little like snippets or things of the that will be coming forward in the upcoming months, not including when it gets closer to release in like, not quite, or yeah, about mid-September. I don't know why I was thinking late September.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
No, it's mid-September.
Yes, September 14th is the release of the album. Online, physically, etc., etc. So most likely in June, Deepest Longing will drop, the single. I don't have a snippet of that, but you'll hear the entire song, hopefully in June. So, but yeah, the Facebook page is probably the best way to keep track of things. I usually post some sort of snippet or updates, but I also have an Instagram.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that's Instagram at Circadia Music, I think.
I have to check that out, or check it out.
Yeah, and then an email, circadiasound@yahoo.com. So, and it's facebook.com/circadiasound. So,
fair enough.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the release. I can't wait for it to be out. So,
I do like it.
Awesome, I'm glad. Hopefully, it'll be a success. So,
can't wait to start hearing about, or when you go and release off the single and that, then September and that.
That'd be so cool if it was on Air One and The Fish and things like that. And other college radios, Malone College, Kent, whatever,
Not including it's, 4 downtown? John Carroll, Case. CSU, Balt Wallace.
Baldwin Wallace, yeah.
Yeah.
That's really close to me, actually, where I live. But
I didn't realize they had one. I found that out.
I didn't either, yeah.
Just found it out in fall.
Nice. Yeah, so I'll have to reach out to them, see if they'll willingly play the song. So.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Coming in and that.
Thanks for having me again. So. Yeah.
Door's always open.
Yeah, we will, and we'll have a good time.
Pretty much.
Yeah.